Foligno, Dickinson, and Mrazek were problems several times. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm so tired of hearing like guys trying to do too much and guys trying to force things out. They've been doing it now for the entire effing season. We're 49 games into the season at this point. Figure it out. It's 2 coaches. It's different players on a roster, different lines, different line mates, all this stuff. At some point, it's on these players to find it on game day. Find it. Be ready to go. The game started at 6 o'clock. You know when the game time is. It doesn't start after 40 minutes. It doesn't start after 50 minutes. It starts when the puck drops. And I'm so sick and tired of this team not being prepared and not ready to start. The one thing a team with less talent can control is their level of effort. And it is not there most nights. We blamed Luke Richardson. Now we're blaming Anders Sorensen. How about the leadership on this team gets this team ready?
Yeah, I was told that once Luke Richardson was gone, that starting on time was never going to be a problem again. But apparently, maybe it's the players. You do have a lot of turnover. Mario, you had mentioned it earlier that like this team started the season as one of the oldest teams in the league. Now all of a sudden that average has plummeted with all these additions, and you add Landon Slaggert to the mix, and that's a good thing. Like, I think this season has been so disappointing because of we were told that it wasn't going to be acceptable to have another season like last year, and here we are back at the bottom of the NHL. But the fact that these kids are coming up, and not just coming up, but looking like they belong and looking like they're going to be productive players for years to come, that's what the fan base needs to see. So Landon Slaggert's here, get him in the lineup.
Yeah, I think when you bring in these young guys, there's definitely the learning curve of getting used to the NHL. But I think what benefits them is that again, a lot of them have played together in Rockford. Nazar, Doc, Del Mastro, Allen, like these guys have all played together in Rockford, and some of them have played together even before that in juniors. Played together for Team Canada and Team USA at the World Junior Championships. Like these guys have had opportunities to play together and build some chemistry individually, and then as teammates through the system, and I think that's one of the parts of the plan that Kyle Davidson has laid out for this team moving forward, is that these guys are going to come up together. And Bedard's kind of been on this island for a season and a half basically since he's gotten here, and now I think you're seeing a lot of the young guys come up. It's not the A level star player like a Mikko Rantanen or a Mitch Marner or anybody like that, but it's his peers, and it's top prospects that are his peers that are all kind of coming up together, and they're not all NHL superstars yet, but I think the early returns on a lot of these young guys are in positive. So I think that is an exciting part of what's coming for the rest of the season, is to just kind of see these young guys start to grow at the NHL level and grow together, and hopefully some of them can elevate together and elevate the game of the guys around them, including Connor Bedard. And I think that's part of this bigger thing where I saw with the Taylor Hall trade, some people, I'd say outside perspective out of Chicago, were just like, oh, they keep trading away all his teammates and all his line mates and all his friends, and it's just like his teammates, it like meant older guys are mentors. Like his friends are coming. His friends are coming to the Blackhawks. The guys that he's going to play the most time in Chicago with, for the most part, for his career, as what the plan is supposed to be, those guys are coming, and a lot of them are here right now. So I think that's what makes it exciting moving forward, and that's what makes games like this, where you see a lot of the young guys contributing. Games like the Tampa game, where basically everybody who was on the score sheet besides Ryan Donato was under 25. Like that's what gets exciting about these games. And yeah, the start was terrible, but the third period, like that push was really fun to experience. The UC had some life to it. Ethan Del Mastro made a great move. Frank Nazar scored. Like it was it gave some life to the building, and hopefully, if you start to dissect these games with a lot of these young guys in the lineup, you start to dissect out like those positive stepping stones that you can take into the rest of the season and into next year.
And I think that's, what I'm seeing from the young players too, is that they're ready to play every game. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to, misread a puck. We've even seen Alex Vlasic lately have a couple games in a row where he struggled, making some bad decisions with the puck. And you can live with that. Like, I'm fine with young guys making young guy mistakes. But when you've got the veterans on this team just sleepwalking through and not being ready to go, like, I don't care. That's what we've said this all along about the guys that Davidson brought in, is they were supposed to insulate against stuff like this. They're the kind of guys with the reputations that they don't slack off. They don't take shifts off. They play hard all the time, and it just hasn't been the case this year. And look, I get Pat Maroon, Alec Martinez. Like, these guys are winners. They've been winners their whole career. This is something new for them to experience, but I get so frustrated with fixable, avoidable losses like this.
We all silly like the mayor.